In the past, I have built a ton of really cool things, but recently, I have lost my passion for building. In this series, I am setting off on an adventure to find my love for it again by challenging myself to build a variety of things all on my own. Today, we will be tackling something that I have never really been a fan of building because I'm not really the best at building them. And that thing are trees. As you can see, I have built quite a few small oak trees in the past because I built a whole custom flower forest, which I used custom trees throughout the whole forest. So I am pretty decent at building these, and these aren't really what we are worried about. We are worried about building a mega tree. So I built this one for my fairy core world. This was the very first mega tree I ever built with the guidance from Seaman. He built that tree, and then I built this one. So I kind of want to try and work on building one all on my own and just practice building mega trees. That way I can get better at them and hopefully finally enjoy building trees. So here we are in a brand new world. I figured it would be easier to build if we were in an actual world instead of a super flat world. That way we have some land and some other things to build around. I picked this little forest with a plains here because I figured having one big tree just in the middle of nowhere would be kind of weird. So I wanted to have a few trees around. So this is the spot we're working with. I'm kind of thinking maybe we build it here. We could expand the grass just to give us a little bit more space to work with. Also, one thing with this build is since we're in a brand new world, I don't have anything to look at. I can't look at different builds that I have done in the past. I can't even look at other builds that other people have done for inspiration because I want to try and build this all on my own from my brain, because that's one thing that I struggle with a lot is building from my brain. I use a lot of inspiration all the time. I want to try to be more creative. So we are going to start with some diorite to figure out the shape that we want the base of the tree to be. I think maybe just a 3x3? No, it needs to be bigger. We need to go big or go home. Maybe we'll do 3, 2, and then 1. Okay, so we have the base of our tree. Now we just need to figure out the blocks we're gonna use. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I should just use oak wood. That way I'm kind of familiar with one thing. So I'm going to replace the diorite with the oak logs to start out. That way we have our base shape. Since I'm just building this for fun, I'm probably just gonna use the four-sided wood instead of logs, just because I think it will be easier for us to do it that way. Okay, so we have this. Right now, this isn't looking like a tree because a tree isn't just circular. So we're gonna start with the stump first, then we go into the branches, and then we go into the leaves. Those are the steps we are going to be taking. So since the area that we have right now is going to be the start of the stump, we need to just build it up and make each of the areas just random. It's kind of fun building tree stumps because it's all different. You just can wing it and hope that it looks good. But of course, if it doesn't look good, this is all about trial and error. So that's one of the reasons I like building in creative. Okay, so we have a start. I'm also gonna add a few more just around to not make it look so blocky. Even though this is Minecraft, it's gonna look blocky. But now we just need to continue this. Just keep adding layers until it looks decent enough to add the branches. See, this is already looking decent. It's not looking 100% like a tree, but it'll get there eventually. Also, one thing you do want to remember is you need to make it so the outer parts are shorter than the middle parts. I almost forgot about that. Because, you know, when a tree is growing, it grows up and it gets thinner as it is going up. Okay, so now we have the next layer. So it is starting to get skinnier. I might honestly take it up a little bit more, that way the tree is taller. We just do a little and then add as we go, because we're just making this up as we go, which is the fun part about building. And then we just need to take these layers up a little bit. Okay, so this is what we're working with now. I think maybe we need one more layer of the stump, and then the tree might actually be good. We have our tree stump. It actually doesn't look too bad. So now comes the tricky part of doing the branches. We're gonna start with this branch right here. And I know you want to do kind of a diagonal. You want to start with one line, go out a little bit, and then also go down. And then you can add a little more to it. You want to make the branch that's connected to the stem thicker than the branch out here, and I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. And then we're gonna grab some oak fences and slabs, and we're going to just add a few slabs and fences just to add some shape to it. The branches are kind of the part that I struggle with a little bit. I don't actually remember how to do them, so this is gonna be a little bit of a struggle in figuring out what we need to do. This is so blocky. Branches are a struggle, but we won't give up until we do it, because that's the whole point of this video. We've kind of got it down. I just need to remember how to really do this. So I think my problem was I was making the branches way too small, because as you can see, I made it longer and I think it looks better. We need to add a little bit more to it, but it is looking better than before. So I think I'm gonna take this branch as a win. So next, we do another branch. We'll do one here. Ooh, that branch looks kind of better. Also, these branches don't really matter too much because we're gonna have the leaves on. So if it doesn't look the best, then at least we'll have the branches to hide it. I went and built the rest of the branches, which actually got easier as I kept building them. After some practice, I figured out what I was supposed to do for them, so it didn't take too long to build them. I then went and added a split to the branches to give them more to it, and make them more full for when we add the leaves. I then went to the top of the trees and started adding the top branches. These ones were a bit different to do, as instead of them going downward in the middle, you want them to go up since they are the branches on the top of the tree. And once I was happy with the branches, I finished off the top of the tree with some slabs to patch up the hole. And now we have the finished tree stem and the branches. I'm really happy with how it turned out. As you can see, this is the top of the tree, but now we are ready to add leaves. So I think I'm gonna start with just oak leaves, and then we will use Axiom to kind of make a gradient on the leaves just to make the tree look cooler. So we're gonna go in with our command to add leaves, and then we want to make sure that we mask air. Also, I should have done this with a sword, but I just did it with my axe. And then we just gotta add the leaves, and I don't actually like that, so I think I am gonna use a sword just because I'm used to using a sword for that. Now we can add the leaves. We want to make sure that we are staying kind of on top. Also, that does not look good at all. We might need to change the brush size. I think that changed the brush size. Oh yeah, it did, okay. So this is way better. So now we just add the leaves on. We want to make sure that we fill it out, but we don't want to add leaves on the bottom because on normal trees, the leaves are not going to be on the bottom. So now we just do this for a bit until all of the branches are covered with leaves. And this part is kind of fun because even though all of this building has been kind of a go with the flow type of thing, the leaves are definitely a go with the flow type of thing, because you just add as many as you think it needs and just keep adding, and then you can break some if you need to, just until you get it looking the way you want it to look. Also, even though this build, you know, I want it to look nice, I'm also not a professional builder and I'm not 100% good at building. This is all just for fun and getting me comfortable with building things and helping me figure out how to build things. That way I can find my love for building again. So as long as I'm happy with it, then that's all that matters. That is actually not that bad. This one kind of got on the bottom of this one. So we're gonna break a few of these leaves down here and we're gonna make it not look super flat. Yeah, this is looking really good. I think I'm pretty happy with this. There's just like a few spots that need to be fixed a little, but for the most part, this is actually looking. Now, before we change the leaves and make them look prettier, we're gonna go in and work on the roots because I actually almost forgot about the roots. So you want to just start and make it connect to the stem, and then you want to go in with some slabs, and then we're going to use some trapdoors as well. So that's kind of how you want to do the roots. Obviously that's the first one I did, so it's probably not going to look the best, and as I go I will figure it out. That's like the good thing about trees is like for the branches and the roots and all that, you're basically doing the same thing over and over again, so you get to practice. Maybe we'll let this one go down a little bit, and it'll kind of just go down a layer. That could be cool. I think that actually looks really natural. So there's those. Now we want to do the one in the back. Alright, there's that one. And finally the last one. This one's going to be a little weird because there's the land right there. But I think that is decent for the tree roots. Now all we gotta do is add some fences and slabs onto the tree trunk, so it's not just the logs. I honestly think we might just add fences and not add any of the slabs. But now we have the fences on the tree trunk. And so all we have left to do is figure out this leaf situation. So if we look at all of the blocks in the menu, we gotta figure out what type of tree we want to do. Maybe a purple tree because I like purple. Maybe a blue tree could be cool, but I don't know how that's gonna look in a forest. Probably would have been cool if we were in a snow biome. A yellow tree could be really cool. Maybe we'll go with yellow and orange. Kind of like a sunset color. So if we did something like this, we have orange terracotta, orange concrete, orange wool, yellow concrete, and yellow glazed terracotta. And I think we'll do dark to light. So now we go in Axiom. I've only ever used Axiom once, so this is gonna be something. I'm not a fan of the glazed terracotta, so we might change this block to yellow terracotta? Yeah, I like it. It honestly is kind of like an autumn tree, which is funny because it is not autumn right now, but you know what? We're making an autumn tree, I guess. I want to add some lanterns hanging down. Maybe we'll just add some frog lights in here, actually. Or maybe, let's see how this would look. We have chains hanging down. And then we did a frog light and added some waxed copper trapdoors on it. That might be cool. That way we actually have some light, but we're not just adding lanterns. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's very different from the lanterns. So now to just finish them off. All right, the lantern things, have been added. I want to see what this is going to look like at night. Ooh, that looks really cool. Let's see how it's gonna look at midnight. Ooh, that is really, really cool. Okay, yeah, I'm really happy with how that is. This part down here is not lit up, but that is okay, because we are going to be working with this at daytime, but that looks really cool at nighttime. So now we have our finished big autumn tree, and so now we are going to add some little trees around to match the autumn tree. We're just gonna add a few trees in here, and we're gonna see if I can remember how to build trees. We are gonna start off with the tree trunk, and we're gonna add some stuff in here. Now for these trees, we want to make 2 sections. Okay, so we got that, and then we want to add some branches on here. And then we get our oak leaves. These ones are really easy to build, at least for me. They're way more simpler than this. And then we'll go and add the gradient on here. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we should add like a little path to this tree. Even though there's not really a purpose to the tree, I think it could be cool to still have a path to it. So then just get a little path in here. Yeah, that's cool. So then we can also work the rest of the trees around the path. So then we'll get one here. Maybe we'll do a small tree here. So these ones are fun to make because they're super easy to build. Way more easier than that one. I've actually built some in survival just on a whim, because you just take fences, do some weird thing like that, then you just add a few things here, and then you can add your leaves on. That's a weird tree, but you know what? It'll do. Because it doesn't really matter how your trees look, because once you get more trees in, it'll be fine. So those are basically the 2 types of trees that you need to really do and worry about, and you just make it up as you go. So now I'm gonna go and just add a few more trees in here to get it looking like a forest. And I added a few trees around. I did 5 different trees just to give the area a little bit of something. But now the final thing I want to do for this build is I want to add some grass around as well as some type of flower. I'm honestly thinking maybe a torch flower. That could be cool. And then we will get some bone meal. So we will just start by bone mealing the grass and getting rid of the too tall grass as well as all of the flowers. And now we'll add the torch flowers around in just random spots. Let's see how this is looking. Yeah, I like it. Looks nice. So now we have our little autumn trees with our torch flowers and some grass and a path around, so we can just kind of walk and go up to the tree and see it. This was a lot of fun building. Is it the best? No, not really, but you know what? This is all about what the series is about, is finding my love for building, but also trying to improve on building. And just kind of using my mind to figure out what I want to do in here. I did have a lot of fun building this tree, and so hopefully, at least with oak trees, I will be better at building them. We will have to try and build another type of tree another time. But for now, I wanted to focus on the oak tree because I kind of had a bit of knowledge on them. Thank you all so much for watching this first video of this brand new series. I hope you guys did enjoy. I had a lot of fun building these trees. Make sure to comment below some ideas of things you want to see me build in this series, and if I choose your suggestions, you will definitely get a shout out. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!